And joining us now from across the border in Montreal, Canada is Olympic gold medalist and Buffalo native PWHL professional Hayley Scamurra. And we are also joined in studio by Tom Barnett, youth hockey coach and founder of the Buffalo Shamrocks, as well as Sam Russo, Buffalo Shamrocks board member and the director of girls programming for the Lady Rocks. We thank you all for being here on Most Buffalo to talk about these exciting announcements. Hayley, we're going to start with you. Of course, we loved watching you win gold with Team USA in the Milan Cortina games. Let us know how life has been treating you since.
It's been absolutely incredible. I just think, all the love and support, we've received as a whole and for me individually has just been absolutely unbelievable. And, I wouldn't be here without all of the support I've had growing up. And I attribute a lot of that to Buffalo as the community. And so whatever I can do to give back to that community, I'm eager to do.
And we know that you are about to kick off the playoffs with your team in Montreal, but you were able to make a quick trip home since winning the gold and got to help the Sabres banging the drum.
Yeah, that was so much fun. It was a last minute decision, but I was like, I have to do this. Like, this is way too cool. And so I got to go to the game real quick. I was literally in Buffalo for 24 hours, if that. And just seeing all the girls there that were excited to see me at intermission after I did my interview with Baran and Duff. And they were just so excited to see me. And I got really emotional seeing that because it's just, you see the impact that you have on the community. And it was something I never had growing up. So the fact that I can be that for them, it just means the world to me.
And we know you have some exciting plans, especially for the girls hockey community here in Western New York coming up for the summer. We're going to outline those in just a minute, but we want to bring in Tom Barnett now because, Tom, the Buffalo Shamrocks have just been recognized by USA Hockey with the Female Honors Award. Can you explain a little bit about what this is and what the recognition means?
It's been a very interesting last couple of years for the Shamrocks. There's been a lot of national attention heaped on our program, which we're thrilled about and humbled by. And we were just honored with the Female Honors, which is, we have been instrumental here working hard to develop the girls' game and to grow the game and to be honored by our governing body. How do you even describe that? It's an amazing opportunity.
And back when you started the Shamrocks in 2001, you had one girl player.
That's right. In 2001, we only had 30 total players at all, and we had one young lady that was the foundation, and a great defenseman, by the way, as well. But it's grown significantly from that.
Yes, Sam, we want to bring Sam in now. You are the director of girls programming for the Lady Rocks. Tell us about the program and again, just how it's grown recently and what you attribute that growth to.
Yeah, happy to do it. Running the girls programming at the Shamrocks is the thing that probably brings me the most joy in my life, second only to my family. But 4 short years ago, we had just 22 girls in the program, and next year we have 119. And it's just emblematic of the community that we have. We want to inspire the girls to love the sport, love playing the sport, build lifelong memories and relationships with each other that transcend time, and to feel an immense sense of pride every time they pull the sweater over their heads. And really, if we check those 3 boxes, the details take care of themselves. But really, everything that we do, it finishes and begins with culture. And values and really getting them to work together and build those relationships. So we've really gone from what was, I'd say 5 years ago, really not a distinct track for girls to having a very well-defined, systematic approach of cultivating and integrating our girl players in a co-ed environment until they're basically at a 10U level, and then once they get to the 12U level, we have a dedicated parallel track with standalone girls teams. That model's worked really, really well for us to drive our program growth, which has really been all about retention. It's basically been an incredible groundswell of female girl participants in our Learn to Skate or Learn to Shamrock program, as we call it. And what we've decided to do is to create this unique home that inspires them to stay and builds those relationships, so there's really never a reason for them to ever think about leaving the sport because they love it.
And we know that you are teaming up with Hayley for a special program in August, but Hayley, before that, you also have a clinic coming up in June. So tell us a little bit about your summer plans and how you're going to connect with the young women hockey players here in Buffalo.
Yeah, we have the hometown hockey clinics that I'm running at my old rink at Hockey Outlet, which is now PNY. And I'm running it with my dad and my partner, Nick Stoop. And we're doing off-ice mentorship. We're doing on-ice for like an hour and a half. And then we have a fun component at the end, with like a family fun skate, where people who are participating in the clinic can bring like a mom, dad, brother, sister, whoever they want. And we're just gonna like go around, have, play games, take pictures, and just, create those core memories for these players, and just connect all together. So it's 3 days. So the first day is for the 15 to 19-year-olds on June 24th. Then June 25th is the 10 to 14-year-olds, which is pretty much sold out. We have like one spot left. And then the last day, June 26th, is for our 5 to 9-year-olds. So it's been, filling up fast. So we're just looking for more in the older age range, I would say, in the younger group.
And then we'll bring Sam back in to tell us a little bit about what's planned with Hayley in August with the Shamrocks.
Yeah, so Hayley and I were really fortunate to connect a couple short weeks ago, and everything's kind of snowballed since. Once we got in touch directly, I realized I'd listened to a lot of the podcasts that she's participated in over the last few months, especially leading up to the Olympics. Just realized that her values and what she's trying to accomplish, not only in Western New York, but to elevate girls hockey as a whole, is just completely aligned with us philosophically as a program. And so I reached out to Hayley to connect, to basically say, one, how can we collaborate? How can we kind of climb our respective mountains, but maybe do it together and do it faster? And so we came up with this way to kick off our season. Before the season, we're going to do a Hayley Scamurra plus Lady Rocks clinic weekend. But the idea is to make it much more inclusive than just about the Buffalo Shamrocks and the Lady Rocks. We're going to be inviting our Buffalo Shamrocks Lady Rocks alumni, girls that have moved on from the program and gone to other programs, girls that have maybe moved on from the program and maybe have moved on to other sports. And we're also going to be reaching out to some of the families. Our program's it's growing so rapidly, it's been tough to keep pace with the demand. And so we've had to unfortunately turn away some families that joined our wait list from other programs this year. But we want to find ways to give them the sort of experience and show them what it, kind of what it means to be a Shamrock and collaborate with the Shamrocks. So what better way to do that than to invite really everybody that's touched our Shamrocks and Lady Rocks ecosystem, than to bring them to the rink with somebody like Hayley, who I could tell you, as the father of two daughters that are in the program and love it, there's not much better than to say, hey, here's a Buffalonian that's played at the highest levels, that is, a leading player in the PWHL, that's an Olympian and a gold medalist. And, oh, by the way, she wants to give back to the community and pull young women up behind her. I mean, what an inspiring thing that is. So we're just, if you can't tell by me going on and on about this, we're pretty excited.
Absolutely. And I know, Hayley, you mentioned that you didn't have an opportunity like this when you were growing up. So the idea of getting to do that for young girls in our community means a lot.
Yeah, it truly does. And it's something you think about as you're older, and you kind of look back on your life and you realize that you didn't really have those opportunities. And so now I get to share that with my dad, who's the one who introduced me to the game. Like, now we get to coach on the ice the next generation of girls from that Buffalo area, who could then bring their dads on the ice too, right? So I think I'm really a big component of like the family portion of it as well, and the family connection. And I love Buffalo, and I'm really excited to give back to the community through my hockey clinics and with the Shamrocks organization.
And Tom, we know that there's a lot happening with the Buffalo Shamrocks. This is just one exciting part of the future. But what excites you right now about the game, especially when it comes to those youth hockey players?
I think the growth of girls hockey. When you look at, this will be the first time in USA Hockey history that over 100,000 girls will have been registered in hockey in the United States. That's incredible in and of itself. I was thinking actually that there was an ad campaign years ago that USA Hockey and the NHL used. Hockey is for everyone. Mm-hmm. And I think, I can't tell you exactly who they were trying to pinpoint on that, but I think it was more of a diversity idea. But it's women. It's girls and women that have grown this sport. So it's fantastic. Not to mention the level of play has changed dramatically. All of it is thrilling for us to be involved with. I think Sam can tell you this more accurately, but I believe that girls in our programming will be close to 40% of our program, where, again, we started off with one girl 25 years ago.
Definitely amazing growth and just so much excitement between the Sabres, the Shamrocks, Hayley, and so much more when it comes to hockey here in Western New York. We have been speaking with gold medalist Hayley Scamurra as well as Tom Barnett and Sam Russo with the Buffalo Shamrocks Hockey Club. We thank you all so much for joining us on Most Buffalo.